Well, Adam, you made a promise to the people.
Lasted a whole whopping.
It's early, bro. It's not like we can't make it up. I mean, do you think these people are naive enough to think that we meet once a week to do this? I mean, do we keep up the charade?
The charade? Well,
how many podcasts are we going to do today? At least 2, right?
Probably. At least 2. But, I mean, it's not like it wouldn't be any different if we...
No, it wouldn't be any different.
Like, it would be the same, just us talking about whatever current event we were dealing with at the time. So
yeah, you dropped a 6.5 PRC bullet there, buddy.
Yeah,
it's beautiful,
right there. It's got to have something to fiddle with, so you might as well fiddle with an explosive.
And the reason you need something to fiddle with is because you haven't got much sleep lately, buddy.
No, I have not. No, I have not. We are running on fumes a little bit. But
run on some fumes at your house because of my favorite. I openly say, I'll say it to the rest of your kids' faces.
That's fine.
You know?
I mean, they'll I think they'll be okay with it. I mean, I think she's their favorite as well, so it's...
We're talking about the one and only Addie Faye.
The one and only Addie Faye Cotta. She is wrecking us right now.
Well, on her behalf, she does have a double ear infection. So
tubes are on the way.
Yeah,
tubes are on the way. But yeah, it's difficult when you got the kids sharing the room. You know, we talked about this a little bit ago.
Why don't all your kids have a bedroom? Oh, that's right. Your house burned.
Yeah,
your house burned to the ground.
But when you have to, like, I feel guilty leaving her in there screaming bloody murder in the middle of the night for the kids that got to get up and go to school. It's like, oh, yeah, I want to at least give them a fighting chance.
Mm-hmm.
So we suffer the consequences for it.
Right. So you guys bring her out of the room so the other two can sleep while she screams and beats you and ridicules you and degrades you.
Yeah, all those things accurate. Very much so. Do you remember the picture I sent you?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're on the couch. And your feet were hanging out the bottom of a blanket.
Because the blanket I had wasn't big enough to cover my feet.
Oh, what a great place to be.
Yeah, sleeping on the couch because of the, not because of things I did on my, well, I guess I did help create her, so there was that.
Sterling came in and slept in bed with me. And he woke up, and springs up out of bed, and he goes, "That's the best night's sleep, Dad, I've ever had."
You're welcome, son.
That's right. You kicked me all night, beat me. Yeah. Anyway, but so definitely want to, pray that Addie Faye lines it out so that you guys can get some rest because let's just admit it, bud. It's not looking real hot right now.
No,
you just look like you're on fumes. And the fact that you need something to fidget with to stay awake speaks volumes.
I just have to poke myself with it every now and then.
Yeah, you got to do
going.
things to keep yourself going.
Especially because when you get to the afternoon, you get to that lull, and then you compound it with a few tacos.
We did have taco casa today.
And then we went down and met with the one and only Brett Whip Will.
Brett Whip Will. Did have a meeting with Brett Whip Will, who is still, I say, is my favorite podcast guest that we've ever had.
It was a blast.
Mainly because it was just an absolute destruction of me.
Well, it was also just, and it's essentially an extension of what we would normally do. Like, we just added the third part.
Well, that's what this is anyway.
Yeah,
this is just an extension of what we do.
So that's why I felt like it just grooved the best.
Yeah, Brett was, but he was a guest. We talked about me losing to a one-armed guy in golf in high school. That's where the boomstick story all came about, and how Keith owed me money, still owes me money. Let's not pretend like he's paid me.
Let's not just breeze over that.
Yeah. Anyway, but we did meet with our good buddy Brett to talk about some business stuff that we venture into with Full Strut Media.
Business time.
Did you? Flight of the Conchords.
Oh,
what a great show.
It was a little too dry for most.
You think so?
Well, it got canceled because it didn't have the viewership.
Is that what it was? It wasn't the view. It was a viewership issue.
Yeah, viewership was down.
Let's just make.
What network were they on though? They
HBO,
were on
HBO.
So that may have had something to do with it because it wasn't they weren't like on FX or something, where they're just. So maybe that had something to do with it. I remember when I watched them, I didn't watch them on HBO. I watched them through another form of
streaming
function.
platform.
Yeah, it was. I didn't watch them live. I binged. I binged Flight of the Conchords, and season 2 wasn't as good as season 1.
It's been a long time.
It wasn't that.
It's been a long time.
It kind of fizzled out.
But there was some really good moments.
Season 1 was wonderful.
Yeah, there's some great moments.
Wonderful.
Your name is it Brett or Brit? Brit. Yes, we're saying.
We're saying the same thing. No, we're not.
Brit.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we had a meeting with Brett today. Went really well, and then afterwards we went and ate taco casa, which is always a good decision.
It is
always a good decision.
It is.
So Adam, our last podcast was the Las Vegas bedcast.
Yeah, it can only go up from there.
Watching the video footage, if you just listen, that ranks up there as one of the strangest watched podcasts.
Like from listening to it,
it's fine.
It was fine.
So fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
no
we even brought the mics and.
No, it sounds great.
Sounds good.
Aesthetically, it's really weird.
It's rough, a little rough.
Yeah, it's the end of a full trade show day.
There's just not a lot of cares given.
No, there really wasn't, and there should have been. That's the problem, is that there should have been a little bit more care about what we looked like, what we sounded like. Because I'm just speaking for me.
Yeah.
I look like a bag of burned dog poop. I don't know. I mean, it is. I look so rough. It's not even just the end of a trade show day. It's the week. It was the last day, like our last full day. It was the last full day that we did it.
I can't remember. Was it Thursday? Was it Thursday?
I think so.
No, because
it was Wednesday.
It was Wednesday.
It was
we
Wednesday.
Had everything packed up on Thursday night because we had to get out of Dodge early in the morning that next day.
Well, it's Las Vegas. We weren't in Dodge.
So, yeah.
But nonetheless, we'd been there for 2 full days.
Compounded with the ATA show the week before.
Right.
So
we were.
There are better days.
Man,
I
did not look super, super good. I feel like before we move any further, we should address our sponsors.
Yeah. We've got a little bit of a sponsorship going on right there in the middle.
Right here, Deer Camp Coffee. All right. We got the Final Descent blend. All right.
It's a wonderful blend of
Rise
coffee.
Brew Hunt. It's actually really, really good. You can go to their website, order that. And you know what? You could even be a dealer. You could carry this, put it in your shop, put it in your business. But you can support us by ordering the Final Descent Outdoors Rise Brew Hunt coffee. So love for you to get hold of that if you're a coffee drinker. Also
brought to you by Fort Scott Munitions, which will keep you awake.
It will, apparently.
You're fidgety.
There you go. So. And it's mid afternoon, so we're not rocking coffee. But I did bring you something. It's really. How would you describe this?
Surprisingly wonderful.
This is a Diet Sunkist. Oh, hit it! Hit him with it. Oh, this is a sizzle.
Man, we even
wow.
Gonna have to sell that audio clip.
That was really good. What do you think of that, huh?
Oh man, it is so good.
It really is.
Surprisingly, really good. I'd forgotten.
What was it? Your dad was doing the diet, and he was like, "Hey, it's sugar free," and it was what was that? He was
popsicles.
It was popsicles, and he was like, "That's sugar free popsicles," and you're like, you eat one, you're like, "There's no way."
No, Dad, it says low sugar.
No, it said no sugar added.
No sugar added. It's sugar free.
It's sugar free. There's no sugar added. Except what naturally.
Except the 59 grams of sugar that it came with, because that's just. And then he just goes and finishes it.
Oh, of course he did.
That's fine.
That's totally fine.
I mean, I would have.
That's what OHC does.
Yeah, that's what I would have done too. So
I love it.
Yeah.
So we did SHOT Show.
Mm-hmm.
We came back. We were home like 3 days.
Yeah.
And we went to Old Mexico.
Old Mexico.
I don't know how into detail we're going to go here.
No, I'm not going. No. Mm-mm.
We went to hunt Old Mexico with our very, very good friend, Rudy with Sonora Premier Outfitters. Which is my 5th year to hunt with him. But anyway, so we ended up driving down on a Tuesday evening.
In a blizzard.
An absolute blizzard snowstorm. I mean, it took us almost 6 hours to get to Cleburne, Texas from my house, which should take 3.5 to 4.
Yeah. It looked like we were driving at light speed.
It did.
It looked like we were on a Star Wars movie.
And we were driving 35 miles an hour.
We were going at light speed because the snow was like just straight by us.
It was crazy. It was absolutely insane. So it took us a long time to get there. And we stayed the night at Kendall Jones's, our good friend Kendall, KJ. Stayed the night at her house. We slept in the wrong bedroom. We'll just say that.
And we'll clarify, nothing inappropriate whatsoever.
No.
For anybody nothing like that.
No, it wasn't anything like that. We were upstairs. It's a room that we just.
It's the room we normally sleep in.
It was weird because Kendall didn't wait up for us.
No,
and
everybody was in bed.
Kendall's usually a night owl.
Yeah.
Like usually we're there like, oh, it's dinner time.
Yeah.
Kendall, it's 11 p.m. Yeah, I'm making pizza rolls. That's usually how it goes at Kendall's house. But that wasn't the case. Kendall was asleep when we got there. And we stayed in a room. It's got 2 beds in it.
Mm-hmm. It's our usual.
It's our usual place we stay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that cousin Jeff had moved into that bedroom. Anyway, so we took over Jeff's room.
Oh.
In his bathroom.
Slept in Jeff's bed.
I slept in Jeff's bed. Anyway.
Yeah.
Aunt Gaggy.
Oh, so good.
Up.
So good.
It's anyway, so
crazy what happens when the lights cut on in the room the next day.
Yeah, I took a shower, man. I took a shower. I told you I met Jeff, right?
You did. You told me you met him down there in the was it the
late? It was late that night. That when we got back after we come out of the return trip, and I was looking for a bottle of water, and I walked into the kitchen and I'm opening the fridge looking for a bottle of water, and I hear something. I turn around and I just see the top of a head ducked behind below the bar, and I'm like, "What? Who is this?" And all of a sudden they raise up, and I guess there's a convection oven over there, and he was cooking burritos at midnight.
I believe it.
He was cooking burritos, and he was like, "Oh hey," and I was like, "Hey, how are you?" And he's like, "You're Brad, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I'm Jeff." And I was like, all right, hey Jeff, how are you, bud? Putting it all together. Anyway, met Jeff.
Yeah.
I don't want to be not invited to come back to stay at Kendall's. So
no.
I don't mean it in any of those forms. It was just funny because I didn't know that Kendall didn't specify, because it's a big house. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't care who you are.
6 or 7 bedroom house.
If you sleep in another person's bed and you didn't know it, it's strange.
It's a little awkward.
You feel a little taken advantage of. There's nothing that you can do.
Well, if I would have known, I'd have slept with clothes on.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
I wouldn't have slept nude. I'm just
not
kidding.
Sleeping nude in Jeff's bed.
I did not do that. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the next day, we get up and we take. I won't go into all the details, but we take a private jet.
Oh yeah. Completely ruined us.
We took a private jet from the Cleburne Airport.
Yeah.
First class the whole way. Unbelievable. So nice.
So awesome.
So awesome. I mean, they basically we pulled up on the tarmac next to the jet. Load all your stuff in, get on the plane, fly to Tucson, first class, champagne, living my life. Whole bit, right? We didn't drink champagne. I'm just kidding about that part.
We had the Fiji.
We had some Fiji water, though, by gosh. Anyway, we land in Tucson. Rudy comes, picks us up, like he always does, from the Millionaire Private Jet Club, which is a great name. Drinking our Diet Sunkist.
My favorite thing about the Millionaire terminal was that they had the soda fountain.
Oh, yeah.
All you could drink.
All you could drink soda fountain.
Oh, it was wonderful.
We was taking advantage of it, just pounding Diet Coke.
That's how you could tell it. These guys aren't from around here. It's like, give me in a minute. You got bigger cups? It's okay. I brought my Bubba jug.
We do redneck stuff up a little bit when we roll into town. Ain't no doubt about that. Anyway, Rudy picks us up, across the border. Well, I'll back up. My gun did not get into Mexico for the second time.
Second time in a row.
I
didn't get to shoot these
I didn't get to shoot that gun. And I was so bummed because I have practiced. CVA sent me a 6.5 PRC. And I was so stinking excited to shoot it. And I have shot it. And I've got it. And I'm there's gun you just have confidence in. You know what I mean? Yep. I just have confidence. Last year I went with my 7 mag.
Yeah.
No, I don't know why. Like, I like the gun. I don't have confidence. I don't have this. I'm going to say I don't have confidence. I killed a buck at 430 something yards with 450 something yards.
I killed my buck with that gun.
Yeah, no. So it's more of a mental thing. I'm not like, it's not a, there's anything wrong with the gun. It's a mental thing. I just don't have the same confidence in myself shooting that 7 mag like I do that 6.5 PRC. And I'll be honest, I'll tell you where I think it actually comes from.
Where?
My favorite round of all time is what?
The 264.
The 264 Win Mag. So it's a 6.5 bullet. Put that bullet in a 7 mag casing. Let's pump some powder behind it. And we're just getting closer to it. The 6.5 PRC. It's not there.
We're working up.
It's not there.
I need about yay much more.
Yeah, we need about yay much more. So we're getting closer, but we're not quite back to where we need to be. But I named my 264 Win Mag Regina. And that was named after Gina off of Martin. You remember the TV show Martin? Martin.
Maybe. I don't know if I ever watched that show.
What?
Yeah.
You never watched Martin?
I don't think so. Maybe I did. Maybe it's been knocked.
You're the whitest kid.
Probably. I'm not going to argue with you.
The whitest kid. You didn't... Okay. Well, anyway, his wife on there, his girlfriend, whatever, her name was Regina, but he called her Gina. And so I had a buddy, Britton Lewis, David Emmons, a couple buddies from high school. Just randomly, we just named the 264 Win Mag Regina. After Gina on the TV show Martin. Anyway, but I love that round, and I feel like maybe that my confidence in the 6.5 PRC comes from the fact that it's just a closer to home, and I'm just confident with it. Like, I love to shoot it. Cal, friggin' Kalina Mache, our client, our very good friend, she had never shot a rifle before. She shot it, and now the gun. So the 6.5 PRC now, she named. She was the first person to kill anything with it.
Yeah, she
shot a coyote.
Yeah,
Coyote Cal.
She
shot a coyote with it at 200 yards, right in the chest. Freaks out. She's just like, let's go, like screaming and hollering, and I'm like, Cal, like, I'm still hunting, you know.
You're like, yeah, let's go, because my hunt is over, because
this hunt's done. This hunt's done because Cal is straight freaking out. But anyways, great time. I even put coyote blood on her face.
Yeah,
just done it right, you know. First kill, Got to do it right. Anyway, so she named my gun Cal. So my 6.5 PRC, which I saw Cal this week at a meeting in Post, Texas. And guess who was in the back seat?
Cal was with you.
Cal was with me. So I introduced once again. She held it.
Yeah.
And
got to hold her.
And on the corner, literally
her
on the corner of
namesake.
downtown, Post, Texas. Cal's like standing there.
Getting it out, pointing it down the street.
She was like looking through the scope.
No.
Yeah, it was great. I was like, this is Post, Texas, man.
This Post, Texas. Ain't nobody, like, can I see that?
Yeah, ain't nobody upset about this. Did you know that Post, Texas is named after Post? This is where Post cereal was founded.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
100%.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Would you look at that?
Would you look at that?
Would you just
and just south of there's Borden County.
Oh.
Borden Milk.
Really?
Wouldn't that have been just a little neat little thing? We build our cereal just north of here. We milk our cows. They get even fresher than that.
That's the freshest bowl of
cereal. Oh. You know what I miss because of lactose? Cereal.
Oh. That's a staple.
But why was it in Mexico?
You know,
kind of wrapping back around. Every morning, I would just be like, you know what? Whatever. I'm just going to like, what's the worst that could happen? I have explosive diarrhea on the side of a mountain in the Sonora Desert. Yeah, that's the worst that could happen.
That's the worst. Seems
it's
like
fine.
A good trade.
Well, I mean, of all places that if I'm going to just let it rip tater chip, just let her go. I'm going to do it there.
There ain't going to be no tater chips coming out.
You got a bowl of cereal that first morning.
I did.
And I watched you eat it. And it bothered me. Mm-hmm. I lusted after your bowl of cereal.
I was full of envy, jealousy.
I just wanted
unpure thoughts.
I did. I wanted that bowl of cereal so bad, lustfully.
And you're like, you know what?
I'm going to get my own.
I'm going to do it.
And I did. But their milk.
He said it's the same milk except it is ultra pasteurized, which means it didn't have to sit out. Or it didn't have to get put in a fridge like nonstop. So like Pepe just took it in and out of a cooler in the morning.
Right.
And set it out for the morning and then put it back in. And it's like, well, like I was kind of sus at the beginning because the picture on the front is like a mom with a baby. And I'm like, is it breast milk? Like, is this a cultural norm here in Mexico? It's like, here's some formula for your...
You know, I took a group of kids on a mission trip to Belize when I was doing youth ministry. And we were taking a public transit bus, which is just a school bus.
Yeah.
And I've got, I don't know, man, we probably brought 30 kids on this trip. And we're just kind of intermingled on the bus. And there's a kid next to me. Very interesting named children.
Okay.
The mom's name is Thea.
Thea.
Which I've got some great Thea stories that I'll have to tell. She was our Falls Creek cook.
Oh, she was a cookie?
She did not use utensils.
Oh.
We're talking about feeding 200 people.
That kind of got me a little bit.
And she's in there mixing the mashed potatoes.
Just palm.
Just elbow deep.
Oh, gosh.
In the mashed potatoes. Anyway, it was great food. I mean, you know, she cooked good food.
Maybe she was on to something.
I don't know. Add a little extra salt. Anyway, So Thea's children were named Tall Wayne.
Paul Wayne?
No. Tall. T-A-L.
Tall Wayne.
The Tall is his first name. T-A-L. Middle name's Wayne. Tall Wayne.
What's their last name?
I don't want to say.
Okay.
I don't want people going and looking them up.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm just trying to protect people out there.
I don't know how many Tall Waynes there are.
Well, that's a good...
You got a real good, solid funnel going
So
already.
she had another kid, though.
Okay.
And his name was Taw, T-A-W, first name. Middle name, Jackson.
Taw Jackson?
So we had Tall Wayne and Taw Jackson. Okay?
This is like first syllable that comes to mind. Is that what I'm going to name him?
Buddy, I don't have a clue. All right, I didn't quiz Thea on the naming of her children and why she chose the names that she did. Didn't go into detail.
I'd like to understand in depth your naming convention.
Anyway, Taw Jackson, who is probably 7th or 8th grade, is sitting next to me on a public transit bus, and I'm on the inside. He's on the outside, and there's a woman in the seat directly across from us with like a kid that's probably 3 or 4.
Yeah. Okay.
And the kid gets up and was like standing in front of her or whatever. And, like she's kind of got him kind of wrangling him or whatever. Yeah. And he pulls her shirt up and starts drinking. He just needed
a swig.
He needed a swig. And so here's this 7th grade boy.
Don't make eye contact.
And he I'll never forget. We kind of both at the same time realize what's happening. We both kind of look over.
Yeah.
And there's this kid, he's like making eye contact with us, you know what I mean? Like looking at us. And Tall Jackson, like he turns and looks and he turns back and I mean his eyes are as big around as a dinner plate. And he like turns back and he looks at me and I look at him and I just do the hand motion to the eyes and I like right here, straight ahead, buddy.
Yeah.
Eyes straight ahead.
Yeah.
And so he just sat there just like frozen, scared to death.
Yeah.
But that was like, it's just a cultural thing. You know what I mean? Like I remember we were out, we were in Dangriga, which is, everybody's like, oh, you went to Belize on a mission trip? Oh my gosh, how beautiful. And I'm like, and it is beautiful, but they thought like we're at the beach, like Belize.
You're at the white people part of Belize.
I was not. I was in the jungle of Belize. Anyway, it was pretty deep in Belize, and we were down in Dangriga, which is the southern part of Belize, and we were going door to door, and we were handing out rice and flour and just like cooking stuff, and then a Bible. And so we were going around handing these out, and there was a lady. And Belize, a lot of people not know this is an English-speaking country. It's the only English-speaking country in Central America. And so everybody speaks English, and so the culture is like it's almost like the Aztec Indian, kind of very small Hispanic people, or like Jamaican descent. So there's a black kind of community as well, but they all speak English. And we walk up to a lady, and she kind of has this Jamaican vibe or whatever. And she's got several kids, and she's like holding a kid, and we just like, hey, we wanted to give you this. And she's like, oh, thank y'all. Where y'all from? And like we started having a conversation, and then it led to like, is there anything we can pray for you about? And she listed out a couple things. Well, prostitution's legal there. And so this woman was how she made her money. She was a prostitute, shared with us about that. And so obviously that's, something that we're, just kind of praying, for her, that she, maybe that, obviously maybe we can find a way for the Lord to provide a different way to her to make a living, anyway, not being judgmental by any means, but just praying for her and praying for her kids. And so we kind of gather around her and we start praying. And I remember the kid was kind of fussy in the middle of the prayer, but I'm a good Southern Baptist, man. I had my eyes closed the whole time.
Yeah.
You don't open your eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you do, it voids the prayer.
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
That's how that works, I think. Yeah, I think that's
a joke.
That's
people.
That's in 1 Corinthians 39, I think, because you can look it up in there. Anyway,
the baby's kind of fussing, and then the baby's not fussing anymore. And I remember we get done and we say amen, and she had on a white halter top, and she's pulled it down, and she's feeding her kid.
Yeah.
And now she wants to give everybody a hug. And so I've got all these like, high school boys and junior high boys that she's like hugging, like pulling them in, like, here, thank you so much for the gift, thanks for the prayer, Anyways, it's just a cultural thing.
Yeah,
and how that's viewed.
It's just a different world.
But so this full circle back into the cereal.
Yeah.
I'd never had an issue with the milk.
Yeah.
In Mexico.
Yeah. Have you tried here since we've been back to see if you could take a bowl of cereal?
No.
Not worth it?
No.
Not worth the chance.
No, buddy. That Brahms milk's dangerous.
It's thick.
It's so thick, just straight from the cow, just pure, beautiful stuff.
Not triple filtered.
It's not pasteurized, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we fly to Tucson, get picked up. Oh, yeah, talking about my gun. So my gun, I turned in my paperwork for my gun 7 weeks early, which I feel like is plenty of time. And so how it works is a colonel in the Mexico Army has to sign your paperwork for your gun. Like it's registered. You got to submit your the serial number of your gun and the serial number of your scope, and submit that to them.
And for those of you who don't know, Mexicans do not have guns.
No, right. So not just the average person doesn't have a firearm.
They do not have.
So you're registering this
Amendment.
gun, and it's good for my registration is good for 6 months to get my gun in, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so Rudy calls me when we get to. I'm essentially at Kendall's.
Yeah.
And he says, "Hey, I got some bad news, man. I don't have your paperwork." I'm like, "Oh." I said, "Well," he said, "I could get it tonight. I could get it in the morning. They could email it to me, but right now I don't have it." So I called him. When we're about to leave on the plane, decide, do I leave my gun in Cleburne? Do I take it? So I end up leaving it in Cleburne because he didn't have it. We're in Mexico. How long? 30 minutes.
I mean, we were in the border town.
Yeah, we're in the border town.
Border town.
Rudy gets the email.
Gun approved.
Gun approved.
Gun approved.
So what's crazy about that is we met another couple, Cole and Chelsea, who do want to come and be on a podcast with us, which would be so much fun because they were our bunk mates in Mexico. And anyway, they submitted the paperwork for their firearms 3 weeks before the hunt, and they got their paperwork back.
Yeah.
Brad Clay, no, didn't happen. So that's twice that I've had an issue with paperwork, getting my gun in. So didn't take my gun. Unfortunately, had to use another gun. But I got into Mexico. We get there, get set up, and you're reunited with your best friend Pepe.
Reunited with Pepe. He's the first one who greeted me.
He was.
Yeah, he came out and he was like, "Adam!" I looked up and he had the thickest mustache.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Thickest mustache. Talking Mario level.
It was beautiful mustache.
Just thick, full mustache. Just
gorgeous.
And he had
Mario mustache.
Let's go. He had full plates full of quesadillas and guacamole and pico de gallo, and
the guac was really good.
He had it laid out, and they've got that cheese from Trincheras, which is that Chihuahua cheese that they make there.
Oh yeah,
so good, so wonderful. But yeah, so the party was on right when we got there because food was ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, and we got to see all of our other old buddies, all right? So Francisco, our guide that almost beat you up because he thought you were soliciting him with a dude wipe.
Yeah.
Have we told that story?
Maybe a long time ago. I think when we've talked about Mexico before, we talked about that one, yeah.
Yeah, so Francisco was going to the bathroom up on top of a mountain. We were glassing.
Yeah.
And we brought some dude wipes. And Adam
which are wonderful, especially when you get the minty ones.
Oh, man.
Nice, refreshing on the buttocks.
That's right, man. It's like it's the closest to a bidet that you're going to get out in the middle of nowhere.
It's like putting air conditioning on your butt.
Okay.
It's wonderful.
All right. Anyway, so Adam ran to Francisco, kind of working his way down the mountain because Francisco was just going to find a little spot to duck down to relieve himself. And you went and handed him a dude wipe.
A package of dude wipes.
And he thought you were handing him
contraceptives.
A contraceptive. And he wanted to fight Adam.
He did not. He was not happy.
He does not play that way.
No.
And so we had to explain to him what it was because it's not a contraceptive. It is it's a dude wipe.
It is a wipe.
So it's a great story.
Yeah.
That
solidified the relationship.
It really did because I've brought them to him multiple times now. Just showed up with the dude wipe and handed it to him. Anyway, it was good to see all of our buddies while we were there. We had it was. Whew, we had an instance. We'll just say that. I've never felt unsafe.
Oh, no. Never. Just confused, or I don't even know what the right word would be.
I don't either. I never felt unsafe at all at any point in time. And I get asked that a lot about going to Mexico. Like, have you ever had like an instance where you were unsafe or whatever? I'm not going to go into details on the situation. I never felt unsafe, but I had a fearful respect. How about that?
Yes.
You can find yourself in a situation where you have a fearful respect.
Yes, you can.
Right? I recommend to anybody to go hunt Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
I think that hunting on Mexico, there are giants. Kendall Jones went with us. obviously.
Yeah.
Kendall, who has been in camp with me 3 times in Mexico. She has seen me kill a coos and 2 muleys. She's been in camp, and I've killed stuff out from under her, and so she's been there when I've killed stuff. She killed a really nice coos. We had that on one of the episodes of the show. But she has not killed a muley.
Mm-mm.
Well, by gosh, she made up for it.
Yeah, she did.
Kendall Jones shoots a 208-inch monster.
Mm-hmm.
Monster. I mean, an absolute monster.
Mm-hmm.
Long shot.
Yeah, crawled right up in her lap.
30 yards, dude. She was hunting with Bambi.
Mm-hmm.
Bambi, I've killed two of my 4 animals have been with Bambi. One was with Francisco. The first one was with Badger. Who's no longer a part of the operation.
Nope.
I don't know what happened there. Not asking questions, but anyway, Bambi's an incredible guide. He is the most disciplined dude I've ever seen in a spotting scope.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he can burn a spotting scope up, dude. Like, he gets in it, and it is phenomenal.
It gives me a headache after too long.
No, I know. And Bambi,
I don't know how he does it.
Bambi, I mean, he spots coos. I mean, I've been with him, and he spotted coos at like 2,200 yards.
That's just
like
nuts.
Bedded under a tree, and he'll be like zoomed in, perfect focus, and he'll be like, Senor Brad, look, and I'll get in and I'll look.
I don't see anything.
I don't see. I mean, it takes me a minute, dude, to find him. Like, I can't find him.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. I just couldn't find him. So, I mean, he has incredible vision. But they essentially stumbled right onto this buck. 30 yards, Kendall shoots him. Absolute giant mule deer. So congratulations to Kendall. It's kind of hard to say.
It kind of make you throw up in your mouth a little bit.
A little bit.
It's
got a little vomity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
no, congratulations to Kendall. Awesome deer. Mm-hmm. And I recommend to anybody, though, to go to Mexico. But you got to go with the right people. You got to go with the right people, man. People that know what they're doing are going to take care of you. We're not staying in towns. You're not going into town. You're in the middle of a giant ranch. Like, though we did go into town one night and we ate at Jerry's Tacos.
Big Jerry's Tacos.
Big Jerry's Tacos.
Big Jerry's Tacos.
And they were excellent.
Carne asada.
You know what town that was?
They said it, but I can't remember the name. It was like, it's like Pablo, or it's something like that. It's got a P at the first of the.
We really narrowed it down.
I know. More narrower than we were to start with.
That's true. It's P-Town. But anyway, I ended up second to last day getting an opportunity at a pretty good mule deer.
Yeah.
On a gun that I don't own. I don't shoot. The other thing is that I was able to borrow a gun, and I was handed. It's a 6.5 Creedmoor, which I am thrilled about.
It's your favorite weapon.
It's the hipster round.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a Creedmoor fan, and I know here I am. I sound kind of hypocritical because we're over here talking about the 6.5 PRC. I'm talking about the 264 Win Mag.
This is a different story.
Which are in the 6.5 family.
Mm-hmm.
It is the little brother, and when I say little brother, I mean little brother.
Yes.
It just doesn't. To me, it just doesn't bring a lot of heat. Doesn't show up with a lot of authority.
Mm-mm.
And so I was handed essentially 10 bullets. Like, here you go, and I was happy to have it.
May not have been matching.
They were not. I can guarantee you there was just a mixed bag. So I don't know the weight of my bullets. I don't know what brand they are. I don't even know what brand the gun was.
Yeah.
I don't know. It had a Burris scope on it.
Yeah.
So it's the first time I'd ever even looked through Burris glass before. But we spot this mule deer. He's like 700 yards away, up on the skyline on a ridge. He's got like 5 does with him. Pretty good mule. He's probably gonna be in the 170s.
Mm-hmm.
And sneak around and with Francisco, and we get laid prone on him. We made some ground on him. Get 606 yards away with a gun. Once again, I don't know it. I've never shot it. I can't tell you the caliber. I mean, I know the caliber, but I can't tell you the weight of my bullet. I can't pull dope on it. And so I'm just like, it's a Hail Mary prayer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, essentially, it's a Hail Mary prayer.
Mm-hmm.
But I've shot 6.5s enough, and I've shot long range enough that I knew I'd be close.
Mm-hmm.
I'd get it in the ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
And so we get down laid prone, and I'm laid prone. I got bipods on the gun, and I'm laid down in my sniper position, and Francisco lays down next to me. And I'm trying to explain to him it's 606 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And so what do you say to you? Tell him. You're like, you go.
I say, oh, now I'm blanking out on what happened.
You just tell him how far. I'm like, I said, will you tell him how far it is?
He said, it's 600 yards. And I said, Francisco, 606 yardas. And he's like, oh.
Oh, he goes, oh. And he looks at me. He goes, no problem.
No problem.
No problem. Like, can you shoot that far? And I look at him and I go, little problem. Little problem.
And then you guys just start laughing.
Oh, we both are. Now we're belly rolling laughing. I'm laying on the ground. He's laying next to me. I'm laughing. He's laughing. And get calmed down, get into the gun. And I didn't realize, at 606 yards looking through the scope that he was quartering so much away from me when I shot. But I pulled the trigger on the first shot and it was perfect. My left or my east or my north and south.
North and south was perfect.
I just shot right. I missed him by
inches.
I mean, I shot right in front of his front shoulder.
Just right in front of him. And that was the thing is, in the moment, we weren't.
I didn't see it. It didn't blow anything up.
No,
so I thought I shot over.
We thought you shot too high, and so no impact. Think you shot over him. It's like, okay, so
I make an adjustment,
mm-hmm.
and I bring it down.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, he's quartering pretty hard away from me,
mm-hmm.
and I pull the trigger, and I hit him right in the back hip, lower leg.
Yeah,
and
mm-hmm.
hits him. He jumps. He spins, lunges out. He stops again. I go back to the same where I'd aimed before.
Yeah,
shot right, literally under his belly.
Yeah, and you can see the dust just.
Yeah, blow rocks everywhere.
And that's when you're like, at that point we really know.
Yeah, exactly. That I know. Okay, I'm low on him. Anyway, unfortunately, we walked that day 11 miles and 46 flight of stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And we weren't able to catch. We saw him several different times along the way, and we just couldn't. I mean, it's just such brutal, rough country.
And I carried a giant tripod.
You did.
A big backpack and a bunch of camera gear.
You did.
I was done.
I carried extra body weight is what I carried. I had too many tacos. That's what wore me down.
I remember sitting on the backside of that mountain, and when we'd walked, I think about 7 miles at that point. And we're sitting down, and Francisco, he's gone off further in the distance.
And they're mountain goats.
I mean,
your guides are. I mean, because they do it every day.
It's just incredible. And I remember sitting there, and you went, "Adam, will you pray for us?" And I was like, "Yeah." So pray, Lord, help us find this deer. But more than anything, we want what you want. And so, if not finding the deer is in your plan, we submit to your plan and stuff. I say amen, and you just went, Lord, I'm sorry for being fat.
I did. I mean, I do now remember it, but at the time,
I chuckled because I was like, "Yep, me too."
Oh
me
man,
too.
11 miles. At that point, we were like 7.8 in or something like that.
It was 7.5 miles in at that point. I remember you said how far we walked. I said 7.5 miles, and at that point, I think we were around 35 or so flights of stairs that we'd walked up.
And not even walked. There was some running involved.
Oh, we sprint. That first time that Francisco took off, I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, you kept up with him pretty good.
I kept up with him all the way to the top of the hill, and then he got up and kept running, and I went, nope.
Dude, I feel like is it my coordination is not what it was, but I really feel like it's just that my foot is so big. I struggle with balance on the steep stuff.
On the steep stuff?
Because like when my foot is a size 15 sits down, There's just so much loose underneath.
You just lean right and you ski down the hill.
Bro, these ankles ain't made for that, bro.
Bend the knees.
Bend the knees.
Pizza pie, French fry. Pizza pie, French fry.
I don't even know what that is.
Skiing terminology.
I just don't feel like I'm sturdy coming off that mountain. Very, very, very sturdy. And so
I will say that fighting it is a lot harder than just kind of trying to plink your way down.
I just can't turn and run. Like you guys, a couple times I'd watch y'all just like run down the hill, and I'm like, bro, it's gonna end so bad for me. I just, like it's just not.
I've got this. I got this. I don't got this. Boom.
Exactly. And I'm gonna just run into, Choya. Exactly. And so, which reminds me, I did run into a Choya.
Oh yeah.
Just not paying an ounce of attention, and I walked, and I had.
Well, they make you pay for it too.
I had 2 right here on the side of my arm, like buried into my tricep. And Francisco had to pop them off for me. Anyway, just
and that day, I mean, amidst everything that happened that day with missing the deer and hiking and walking and all that stuff. Not missing, but not getting the lethal shot that we wish we would have got.
True.
That whole day was one of the more fun days of the entire trip for me.
Oh, no, and actually it really was for me, too.
Yeah.
No, I went home and took ibuprofen. No, it wasn't ibuprofen. It was a leave.
You took an ungodly amount.
I didn't realize. So I'm going to you can answer this, okay, people that are listening to this. You can comment.
I remember a certain
email us.
red-bearded friend saying, that's a lot of a leave.
Well, it was too late. I didn't have anybody to tell me prior to. Gosh. I didn't realize that when I look at a milligrams, I realize if something's 200 milligrams, your boy's taking 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if I'm taking ibuprofen, I'm taking 1,000 milligrams of ibuprofen. Yeah. I don't take medicine very often.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you see me taking medicine, something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm hurting.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day, your boy was hurting.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did what anybody would do. I dug through a couple that I'd met 3 days before.
Through their luggage.
And I found their stash of drugs. They had some Aleve. It's kind of true. I mean, it is true that I did that, but they had offered them to me.
They let you know that they were there.
They let me know they were there.
And so
I'm not saying that Chelsea gave me permission
mm-hmm.
to dig through her little med kit bag.
Yeah.
But I did it.
But I did it anyway.
Mm-hmm, I did it anyway. And so I dug through her medical kit little bag, and I found Aleve. And I didn't know that Aleve is like God's gift to pain.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's the best.
Apparently, that it's way better than Tylenol and Advil, and way better than ibuprofen.
It's the good stuff. It's the good stuff.
I didn't know this. No one's ever informed me.
Well, you came around the corner and you're like, yeah, I took 4 of them, and I was like, what?
Well, yeah, I was nice. I'd usually take 1,000 milligrams, but I was like, and there wasn't a whole lot left in there.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
So
Where'd all of our leaf go?
I left them like 6.
Yeah.
So I took 4.
Yeah.
I took 4. And everybody's like, you took how many Aleve? And I was like, I took 4 Aleve, 200 milligram Aleve. And I'm like, oh my gosh, your kidneys are going to shut down. You're dead. You need to call home and talk to your children. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, what?
And then I was like, yeah, on the back of the bottle, it says right here, no more than 2 a day.
I mean, nobody told me, what I mean? Like, I need people to hold my hand.
But I remember being on the mountain later when we went back.
Felt great, bro.
You're like, I feel wonderful.
I did. I'm telling you, the next day after that, I was like, bro, I could walk another 11. Let's do this. I felt great. Like I did not. Yeah. There were parts of my body that just ache from college football.
Yeah.
I've got some fingers that bother me. I broke several of my fingers playing football.
That's because you burned all your pain receptors off with the.
Aleve just melted all the pain receptors off.
Yeah.
I felt great. But apparently that's the thing that you're not supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually came home without a deer for the first time in Mexico, but this 5 years I've had a shot opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody else that I go, it's like Nolan Cook. He was a guide there last year that I hunted with some, and Nolan, I'm like, hey, I killed mine at like 456 yards. The year before, I shot my coos at like 560, just stupid distance. The year before was like 250 something. But the first year is real close. I shot him like 75 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, it's just like every year it just keeps getting worse. Like my distance,
you just keep getting farther.
And Nolan's like, that's crazy. I haven't had a client shoot one, over 200 yards the whole time I've been guiding here. And I'm like, well, what the heck? So I guess my walk away is that I would love to go. I think everybody should go to Mexico, but I would really love to go and shoot something close.
Like 30 yards?
30 yards would be great. But even not 30, I would just love something inside 200.
Yeah.
That I can just hold on it and pull the trigger, and I'm not, trying to guess on the dope or, whatever on how to shoot it. That would be.
Or at least being able to do that with a gun that you know how to
right, because
I
would feel confident. I would feel confident shooting that 6.5 PRC at 606 yards. I would be confident pulling the trigger on that gun. I know that gun. I'm comfortable with it. And you can see the vapor trail in the footage. It's going to make an episode, and people are going to complain. They'll be like, if you didn't know your gun, you shouldn't have tried shooting at it that far. Well, you know what? You're probably right. But guess what? I did it. I can't go back and change it. It is what it is. Here we are. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, good times. Mexico's fun. So I didn't get anything. Cole, that went with us, we kind of mentioned, he shot a really nice coos. Kendall killed her ginormous mule deer. Weather was bad too. The wind blew hard, really the majority of the trip. So
and that ruined a lot.
Man, it's tough. Wind locks them up, man. For sure.
Yeah. That day that we were out on the top of the mountain and the wind was going.
Yeah.
That was a miserable little set.
Yeah, it was.
That was a miserable little set.
It really was. That was not fun. Anyway, Adam, I have no clue how we add a spiritual element to today's.
I do.
Oh.
I do.
See, that's why you are a vocational minister now.
So, like, I had this thought. Okay. And, surrounding all the things that happened, the crazy that happened. Like we've said multiple times, craziest trip we've ever been on, start to finish.
And we can't even tell you about it.
Just bar none.
I can't even tell you. I'm like, I literally can't tell you about it.
No, it just bar none from top to bottom, absolute craziest trip in so many different ways, too.
That we didn't even talk about coming home.
No,
That's for the next podcast.
Yeah.
We'll dive into it's like Mexico Part 2.
Yeah. So
it's Narcos Part 2.
Yeah. So just crazy from top to bottom.
Yeah.
And the thing
private jets, bad weather.
Oh gosh, all of it. Stayed an extra day because of the bad weather too.
Yeah.
I mean, just all of the stuff. And the one thing that kind of stuck out to me, and it's something that I said to somebody else, was what was crazy is like what you said. Like I never felt in danger. Like I never didn't feel safe.
Right.
And it was like this thing. I was like, well, why? And then I remember saying to somebody like, well, I trusted Rudy. I trusted Rudy. And I'm like, in this moment, I was like, oh, there it is.
Okay.
So it's like,
it's a pretty good spiritual application.
Like whenever the circumstances around you seem to be crazy, you're not going right, all of it you can have peace in all of it no matter what, because I know God's got this.
Yeah.
I know he's got it. And I trust him, even though everything around me looks a little bit sus.
Sus. It's like my kids. Yeah. No, that's big. And you know why I trust Rudy is because time I've spent with him.
Oh, see, there's another layer.
I trust Rudy because I've hunted with Rudy 5 times, and I consider Rudy, who runs Sonora's Premier Outfitters, I consider Rudy a friend. You know what I mean? Like, Rudy's not just a guide. He's not just an outfitter that I hunt with. I consider Rudy my friend.
Yeah.
And because of my relationship with Rudy, I trust him.
Yeah. And so there's multiple layers there. And
that's really good. That's really, really good. Your part was okay, but my part was great.
Yeah. Yeah. You really brought the house down with that. But that's the thing is like, I think, and even we were talking about it a little bit, was like, we have to trust in the Lord and lean on him not our own understanding.
That's true.
And he's going to make our path straight.
That's right.
He's going to take care of us.
And we're going to trust, and we're going to be able to trust him more in those difficult, crazy times.
Yeah.
The closer we are to him, the more time we spend with him. And so that's a great application to wrap up the episode today.
How you hold in those tough times is going to be very indicative of your relationship. Like that's going to show in the crazy is when it's going to show, well, how close are you to him?
Yeah. No, that's great, buddy.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
That's why you make the big bucks, buddy.
Make that big old fat Wellston, Oklahoma youth pastor salary.
Guys, if you haven't subscribed, if you don't follow Final Descent Outdoors, we'd love for you to do that. You can find Final Descent Outdoors on all the social medias. You can find us on Twitter at FD Outdoors. You can find us on Instagram at FD Outdoors. And you can also find Final Descent Outdoors just by searching Final Descent Outdoors on the old Facebook and also YouTube, Final Descent Outdoors. You can also visit our website, order some awesome merch. You can order our merch from our wonderful podcast. You got the China Pearl. You've got the Phallus Hole. You got the FDO merch. We got a Jesus Ate Meat. We got a Final Descent hoodie. We're rocking right here as well. Adam, who has been much more active on Instagram. You're liking posts.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're back, baby.
I'm a real boy.
How can people find you on the social media?
You can find me on Instagram.
Hurley Films.
Hurley Films, HEARLYFILMS. Same thing on YouTube. Just uploaded a video today of Hurley and I doing some framing touch-ups.
Oh, nice.
In the old house, the old casa.
Nice.
Which I figured out how to upload 360 videos to YouTube.
Shut your face.
So I may do that on one of my next videos for the fun of it, because that would be super cool.
That's awesome. I've been loading a bunch of shorts.
You have been.
And they're killing it.
You have been. I did my first reel the other day.
On Instagram?
On Instagram first.
I saw.
Did you see it? It's the one for the youth event that's coming up.
I saw that.
So
great job.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning into today's podcast. Adam, we're just going to turn around and do this again. There's no charade here.
No charade. We'll be back in a minute.
In a
wardrobe change.
We're going to go change clothes.
Tell you about the last half of
Mexico.
Mexico, as the locals like to call it.
I don't think that's remotely close to accurate.
Well, we'll go with it, though.
Yep. San Diego.
Nope.